I'm George Richards, the head of heritage at Art Jameel, and I'm just going to start by thanking Your Highness and ladies and gentlemen and my fellow organizers, our host, Ikram Athar, AMNA Global Heritage Fund, for the opportunity to speak to you today. And I'm going to speak very briefly just to introduce Art Jameel to those of you who don't know us, touch on our work in digital documentation, and also ask the question about how can digital documentation of heritage not only increase our understanding and our ability to protect monuments, but also integrate with the revival of intangible cultural heritage, such as traditional arts and crafts. Art Jameel is an organization based here in the UAE, in Dubai, and also in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah, and we focus on a range of different fields, including learning, educational programs, heritage, contemporary arts, and our model is collaborative. We work with major international intergovernmental organizations and grassroots local community-led organizations, especially in the Middle East, North Africa region. Just the other week, on the 11th of November, we opened the Jameel Arts Center in Dubai, the first private arts institution of its type in that city, and we're very looking forward to inviting you here to join for dinner at the gala dinner tomorrow evening and for a tour of the new center. At the heart of what we do in heritage are a network of institutes that we have established to promote the preservation and revival of traditional arts and crafts in this region, which we call the Jameel Houses of Traditional Arts. Our first was in Cairo, opened in 2009. We have one in the old town of Jeddah, Al-Balad, which we opened in 2015. And we're building a third one in Scotland at the minute. Those institutions teach traditional crafts in partnership with the Prince's Foundation School of Traditional Arts in the UK, the Prince of Wales's foundation. And it's a 1 or 2 year diploma program in various different crafts, but very deeply rooted in the architectural environment in which those institutes are located. So in Fustat, in Old Cairo, or in Al-Balad in Jeddah. This is a photograph of brasswork done at our institute in Cairo. Here we just introduced glass blowing. There are only 2 glass blowers in Old Cairo still today, and we're working with them to revive this craft and keep it alive, take it to the next generation. We work inside some of the lesser known mosques of Fustat to document and then revive the crafts that would allow for further reconstruction and maintenance of those centers. Again, this is in Cairo. Similarly, in Jeddah, and this is a looping video of the street in Al-Balad, and it shows the state of disrepair, of neglect of many of the tower houses, which are built of coral stone, coursed with teak from the Indian Ocean, incredible architectural monuments and UNESCO World Heritage Site. And to respond to the need to restore these, in 2015, we opened here our Jameel House of Traditional Arts, Jeddah, which again focuses on the local crafts of that city. So here's mangur, this interlaced woodwork that's used to build the great rawashin of Jeddah. The one on the right is one that our students produced at the end of last year. And so we've established this network of this platform to revive traditional crafts. But the question that is more relevant to us today is how can we integrate that then with digital documentation techniques? So starting in 2017, we've been working to train people in Saudi Arabia in photogrammetry primarily, but also laser scanning techniques. Here's some of our students documenting one of the doors in one of the traditional houses in Al-Balad. Again, here they are in the Shafi'i Mosque, the oldest mosque in Jeddah, documenting the mihrab. And the idea, what we have achieved is then to build, of course, and you'll all be familiar with these 3-dimensional models, but how can we bring that into the classroom? And we've found incredible success with enabling students of traditional crafts to engage with the architectural monuments in creative ways. When we started, we would have our students climbing up ladders and taking rubbings on gypsum panels in order to then record them. But with digital techniques, they can manipulate them, they can 3D print them, they can explore the geometry using computer programs, computer analysis, and it's completely opening up a new world of intangible cultural heritage study through digital techniques, which I think is something often missed actually when we focus on digital documentation. We look at it maybe more at the monument preservation side. This is imagery from a more recent project just in October. I was in Al-Ula in northern Saudi Arabia, again training students in these techniques, in this case to document petroglyphs. This is a rock in what's called the Library of the Lihyan in Al-Ikma, Jabal Ikma. Again, building these three-dimensional models to understand the petroglyphs more clearly. And it's a relatively understudied area of Saudi Arabia. But the purpose, again, is to integrate that then with the revival of traditional crafts in that part of very rural northern Saudi Arabia. You'll hear over the next few days a bit more about different projects. Christopher Turner from the Victoria and Albert Museum will speak about a project that we've collaborated on with the V&A in Iraq, working with the Yazidi community to digitally document cultural heritage destruction. You'll also hear more about this project in Al-Ula from our partners at the Factum Foundation for Digital Technology and Conservation. But I just wanted to end today by raising the question, perhaps for the course of the next few days, about how we can look more holistically about the role of digital documentation in cultural heritage preservation beyond simply the documentation of monuments. Thank you.